Major breaking! Tottenham open talks for an £80 million powerhouse, and sources say he's Thomas Frank's dream signing. Welcome back to Tottenham News Today channel. Tottenham's January plans have taken a dramatic and very public turn as the club pushes to place Antoine Semenyo at the top of their winter transfer agenda. Multiple sources across England now insist Spurs are leading the race for the explosive Bournemouth winger, with Thomas Frank and Fabio Paratici both driving the push behind the scenes. And now Tottenham want him immediately. talkSPORT recently confirmed that Semenyo has a £65 million release clause, but it doesn't activate until next summer. That timing is a problem for Spurs, who do not want to wait another 6 months. Their need for a left-sided forward is urgent, and Semenyo fits Frank's tactical blueprint precisely. Direct, relentless, strong in transitions, and capable of tearing apart defences with one carry. Spurs believe he can transform their attack from the moment he steps onto the pitch. But Bournemouth are not giving in easily. Andoni Iraola considers Semenyo untouchable this winter, and internally the message has been firm. No bargain, no negotiations, no distractions. Semenyo remains central to their structure, and his form under Iraola has turned him into the heartbeat of their front line. However, the situation is far more complicated than the manager's stance suggests. Individuals close to the Bournemouth hierarchy have admitted privately that the club would listen if the number is right. And that number, according to those same insiders, is around £80 million. Anything below that will be rejected outright. Anything at that figure would place the responsibility squarely on the player and Spurs. Tottenham know exactly what they're doing. Paratici has identified Semenyo as the profile Spurs have been missing for years. A winger with Premier League experience, athletic dominance, and room to grow into an elite-level attacker, Frank has endorsed the move entirely, pushing the hierarchy to act aggressively before rival clubs enter the fray. While Semenyo has not asked to leave Bournemouth, the noise around him is becoming impossible to ignore. Interest is growing. Spurs are ready to move. And with January approaching fast, this is shaping up to be one of the most intense transfer tug-of-wars of the window. Frank's admiration for Semenyo isn't new. It's long-standing and well-documented. Nearly a year ago, before facing Bournemouth, the Danish coach singled out the Ghanaian forward as the most dangerous player in Andoni Iraola's squad. He didn't mince his words. Frank claimed Semenyo was capable of playing wherever he wants, a footballer blessed with pace, power, unpredictability, and complete fearlessness. Those comments have aged perfectly because Semenyo has continued to rise while Premier League clubs have finally caught on. Tottenham want a winger who can change their attack overnight. In Semenyo, they believe they've found exactly that. The only question now is whether they're willing to cross the £80 million line to make it happen. Spurs have detonated one of the most eye-catching moves of the entire window, formally placing a £57 million offer on Barcelona's desk for Ferran Torres, a bid that has sent shockwaves through both North London and Catalonia. After years of scouting the Spanish international and monitoring every dip, rise and tactical tweak in his Barcelona career, Spurs have finally pushed their chips into the middle. The message is unmistakable. They want Ferran now, not in summer, not in a year now. Barcelona, already wrestling with financial pressure, suddenly find themselves face-to-face with a proposal that demands serious consideration. Torres is valued internally, admired for his flexibility across the front line and respected for his ability to adapt to tactical chaos. But as much as Hansi Flick and the sporting department rate him, the uncomfortable reality is that he is far from a guaranteed starter. That contradiction places Barça in a brutally delicate position. For Spurs, this move has been months in the making. Their recruitment team, long convinced that the attack lacks precision and unpredictability in crucial moments, believes Torres can instantly raise the ceiling of the front line. He knows the Premier League. He's already lifted the trophy twice with Manchester City, and Guardiola himself described him as incredible. Praise that still echoes around the English game. Sources close to the club insist that Ferran would walk into a far more significant role in North London. Tottenham can offer him something Barcelona currently can't: guaranteed minutes, freedom to play wide or centrally, and a tactical structure built to showcase his movement and end product. At 25, Torres is fully aware that the next phase of his career must be defined by consistency, not bench cameos. A Premier League return could be the turning point he has been waiting for. From Barcelona's side, the £57 million bid arrives at a moment when the club must carefully balance ambition with financial survival. Accepting such a proposal could unlock 2 or 3 squad reinforcements, yet losing a versatile attacker during a tight campaign could be equally damaging. The internal debate has already begun, and it will not be straightforward. This developing saga is now on a knife edge. Tottenham have made their move decisively, aggressively, and without hesitation. Barcelona are under pressure to respond quickly. And Ferran Torres once again finds himself at the centre of a tug-of-war that could reshape both clubs' seasons in an instant. The next few weeks will determine whether Spurs pull off one of the headline deals of the window, or whether Barcelona decide they simply cannot afford to let him go. Tottenham have pushed themselves to the centre of yet another major transfer storm, this time involving one of La Liga's most electric attackers. Real Sociedad sensation Takefusa Kubo sources in Spain and England confirm that Spurs are preparing to go all out for the Japanese winger, a player who has grown into one of the league's most unpredictable and ruthless wide forwards. And the most interesting part? This is not a deal buried in complications or negotiations that drag for months. In fact, it might be one of the most straightforward, high-profile moves Tottenham could make. Kubo's contract contains a £52 million release clause, a figure that instantly changes the entire dynamic. No bidding war, no long-standing dispute with Real Sociedad, no drawn-out talks. If Tottenham decide to activate it, the only remaining factor is convincing the player that North London is where he should write the next chapter of his career. And according to several reports, that step may already be halfway done. Journalist Pete O'Rourke has made it clear that Tottenham are far from alone in the chase. Liverpool, Aston Villa and other Premier League clubs have been tracking Kubo for years, fully aware of his sharp rise from promising wonder kid to one of La Liga's most polished attacking threats. His numbers for Real Sociedad, 24 goals and 18 assists in 147 games, only tell part of the story. The real appeal lies in his high-speed decision-making, close control at full sprint, and the way he dismantles defensive lines with a single touch. Yet despite the competition, Tottenham find themselves in a strong position. Reports from Fichajes insist that Kubo views a Premier League switch as the natural next step, and specifically believes Spurs could be the perfect fit. The chance to be a leading figure, not just another name in a rotation, strongly appeals to him. Tottenham's need for a top-tier winger is public, and their project under Thomas Frank offers both prominence and responsibility. Dean Jones has echoed this sentiment, emphasising that unlike many elite-level transfers, this one does not require complicated backroom manoeuvring. The clause is there, the interest is real, and the player is open to the move. For Spurs, the question is simple. Are they willing to place £52 million on the table now before rivals strike first? Real Sociedad, meanwhile, remain braced for impact. They know Kubo is attracting some of Europe's heaviest attention, and although they would prefer to keep him until summer, the structure of his contract leaves them vulnerable. They cannot negotiate the price higher. They cannot delay the inevitable if a club triggers the clause. Tottenham now stand at the front of a race that could explode at any moment. With a release clause ready to be activated and Kubo intrigued by the Premier League stage, this saga has all the ingredients to catch fire rapidly. Spurs wanted a winger capable of transforming their attack, and Takefusa Kubo might be the most attainable top-tier option on the entire European market. That's all for today's update. If you enjoyed this video and want to stay up to date with everything Tottenham, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a story. Don't forget to drop a like and share this video with other Spurs fans. Together we can keep growing the Tottenham News Today community. Thanks for watching, and as always, come on you Spurs!